Hello and welcome to more Hytale stuff. It's I, Hero of the Heart, or Techno Comics. One new update, I guess it's update free, but I've been doing some modding work. That's my creative world, but I've also been modding on there. I'll get back to building later, because I really need to just do a lot over there, but also modding's been taking a lot of precedence, and to show off what I've been doing, let's just dive into a new exploration world. Right out the gate. And let's go into here. I don't care about this crap. Okay, I will take this. No, that's the old version before I got all my stuff in. Take the developer version because that's what I've got. And straight in. So once it finishes, loading and everything and generating the world, this will be showing off, I guess, just what I've got in here for the new, everything. Kind of almost a pre-mod showcase. There's still a lot of stuff I need to and want to get done. Like, I haven't got any of the armor really going. I've started on the icons for the amulets. That's going to be one of the chestplate armors that I'm gonna have, or chest armors. I'm thinking of trying to have like different branches and categories for armor types, so they aren't just purely, progression go up, but instead you can have more side grade stuff. Although all of the Sloc Gorm specific armor will actually provide mana. And actually, I will have to, for demonstration purposes, I will have to do this. Just so I can have mana to work with. I won't take much. But yeah, again, I haven't actually got my own armors going, so I'm just gonna, take that one thing alone. And no longer up. Okay. So, what all do I have so far? Honestly, I've been focusing on a lot of stuff that base Hytale kind of lacks. So we'll just... Oh no, I need to actually get weapons. And oh hey, we already have our quartz and amethyst crafting recipes. I have those crafting recipes temporarily until we've got better infrastructure for letting them be obtained more naturally. Kind of a small issue with just the base Hytale scene right now of we don't really have a good way for people to mod in like custom ores or loot tables or anything like that without plugins or risking mod conflicts. I think for ore generation, straight up you just need plugins, which I could do, but I also don't want. I want to avoid dependencies for the time being, though it may become inevitable. It's a little complicated. Anyway, let's go ahead and make ourselves a first sword. And we'll need to actually try and let's just get stuff going, starting the typical Hytale repertoire of equipment. That's chorks. I don't want to mess with chorks right now. What I want is to find some crops so that I can start actually making something. Like, is that some wheat? No, it's cattails. I might have gotten a little bit unlucky with my world seed here. Guess we'll have to find out and see. I mean, the big thing I need is life essence for sure. Okay, that's. Let's head to the temple. There might be something worth my time along the way. And it's definitely a struggle to figure out what I even wanted to do as a temporary solution for people needing to acquire the basic ingredients for the Tale of Sunsword things. And yeah. It kind of just boiled down to like, okay, well, it's definitely a magic-based kind of a world. So pressure cooking rocks with special like acids and stuff doesn't really seem like maybe they could do it, but it's not something that would really be a working solution for, well, I need them to be able to get it, you know, right away, because like the quartz and amethyst items are some of the most fundamental stuff for just the Sloc Gorm, Tale of Sunsword technology in general. It's, you know, crystal based. You need to be able to find these special crystals. Later on, I'll probably have like a geodes sort of thing, or just, I don't know, custom ores, anything really. But okay, now we found some wheat and got a little bit of essence of life. However, we kind of need a little bit more. Okay, 8. Good. And now we need to make a workbench, because just making the crystals isn't going to be enough. And there we go. Tree down. I would replant it later, but this is literally a throwaway world, so, oopsie. Anyway, let's get that workbench up and running. Fancy me a snack. And let's get a... Ooh, yeah, I don't have everything I need, do I? I need copper. I'm not gonna bother with the memories, it's gonna take too long. I'm already gonna be another long-winded little journey here just because that's how it is. I probably won't throw this mod into my current exploration world, but I am hoping to at least run it with my friends on their server if we can actually get that going again. Oh, we're rolling in life essence now. So it's not that harsh of a start, other than you do need to just get the bare bones basics. Okay. Dive down underground, because we need to get some copper so that we can start making our stations. Because, oh yeah, we need the stations. Oh, and let's get more some light. Huh. Oh, boom shrooms. There's our copper. Oh, yep, there's that mining update. Takes a little bit longer to mine everything now. Which probably means smaller hauls, since it's hits per block is how the item damage is operating. Anyway, we shall now... Alright, I don't even have to use my... Sorry. Yeah, let's get a furnace going. blacksmith anvil. I probably shouldn't be doing the entire process, but whatever. Alright, so right away we've got all these different swords. They are tier 3. Tier 3 swords. Oh boy, that's quite a ways away. Well, we don't exactly have all the stuff we need, and it would actually be hours to get everything we need. So we'll just, without further ado, just dive right in. Whoopsie, have to opt off again. Okay, we'll just pretend this is maxed out. Not pretend it, we'll just max it out. Didn't even make that one. Whatever. Okay. So we upgrade you twice. And before we can even mess with like the custom swords here and stuff, we need that one I can show off. Go ahead and just craft one with the infinite resources and a Arcanist workbench. Okay, so we'll mess with that one last, if at all. Yeah, probably not. Okay. So, what I can do early game, or what people can do in general early game, we will first want to just make a bunch of these. That's quick. Okay. Right. Okay, so now I've got a bunch of quartz, about 24, and I need to start making all these foci to make anything fancy. And we gotta make light force shards. They're a little more efficient to make if you use quartz. And likewise, amethyst is a little bit better for the red life force shards. We want these yellow light force shards, so we'll make a couple. Alright, and now we can make a quartz focus. So it's a glowy little orb here. Actually produces some light. And likewise, these crystals also do produce their own light too, albeit not as brightly. But bright enough that when you're able to actually mine them later on, you're not going to have much trouble seeing them in the dark. Anyway, oh dear, it appears we do need a little bit of amethyst. So we'll just, yeah, do that. And now we can make our first magic weapon. Spark Rod. So this is a, some think of a unique weapon, especially as far as like what we currently have available in Hytale. So if I just go around and find something, and yes, of course, this weapon glows. Might be a little rough trying to find an enemy. Oh, you know what? We've got an enemy. We've got surface mobs. Let's see. Temple's right here. Give me some delicious wheat. Okay. And yes, we've got our special armor here so that we have a little bit of mana. Later on, the armors will be easier to make than Wolves. Let's go and actually test the rod out on these wolves. It's not super strong, but in a pinch. Okay. Maybe that is a little bit strong, but I do need to save out mana regen nerfing. Then again, I do also just have 22 max mana, but it does only like 5 damage. And as you can see, it doesn't actually use any durability to throw these light orb enemies. But that doesn't mean they're indestructible weapons, just that they don't use their ability to cast magic with, which is a little different from some of the other spell weapons in the base game that sometimes do, sometimes don't take durability. They're a little finicky about that, I guess. It's weird. Anyhow, so to further show off what we can do with this one little thing, we've got this guy here. I really don't know why the knockback's upward, but okay. You can actually hit it with the melee. Not advisable for damaging rod. The magic rod is actually the most durable things in the world. Ow. Oop, that's a dead end. Take some of these guys. Yummy, yummy. Anyway, I'm out of here. You can enjoy this place all to yourself. Right, so we got some stuff. Fish. Let's go back to our little crafting hole. Shouldn't be too hard. I left a nice torch trail. Okay. Better yet. Where is my crafting hole? Right here. Alright, let's go ahead and make a little this thing. Take back our essentials. Yeah, we can go ahead and throw some of these in here. Okay, anyways. So that's all fine and good, but wasn't there a whole mess of other things in here we can make? Oh yes, there is. Let's get right onto that. And here's the general gist of what we're gonna need. So I'll just go ahead and max out whatever I demonstrating everything will just kind of take a lot of whatever. Anyways. Honestly, I probably should just clear my inventory. I don't even know what I'm doing. Because we can just show off the recipes now that we're in creative mode. Okay. So, the other focus orbs. We've got Amethyst, Earth, Fire. We have 2 recipes for the Heavenly Focus. The Life Essence version is temporary because in vanilla, Lightning Essence is simply not obtainable. We have a Shadow Focus. We have 2 recipes for the Water Focus. Essence of Water is obtainable, kind of, from what I understand. But I'm pretty much fine with people just making it out of either essence of ice or water. Later on, I might try to find a way to merge, so that just, you know, one recipe either or. And then at last, we've got the umbral focus. And of course, they all glow their different colors. So that's some of the basis of a lot of the more advanced stuff we can do here. First of all, we've got a bunch of elemental rods. I haven't finished doing all their like descriptions and stuff, but they're at least functional. So first we've got the light rod, when you've got a quartz focus, 2 silver ingots, and a heavenly focus. So this will be a pretty immediate upgrade once you're able to make rods going from the spark rod. And, well, yeah, it's just straight up a direct upgrade. The spark rod takes 2 mana to do a weak little orb of light. The light rod takes 3 mana to do a somewhat stronger orb of light, as we may demonstrate here. Oh, right, my armor disappeared too. Put that back on. Okay. Yep, I want. So, 3 mana, light orb does 10 damage instead of 5. And that's about it. Okay. Here we are. Next up. Oh, I did not mean to change that. Okay, we've got. You know what? Let's just grab them all. We've got fire. There's a fire focus, 2 gold, and the amethyst focus. The ice rod. That's a water focus, 2 silver, and a quartz focus. A wind rod. Yes, it uses an earth focus and heavenly focus with any 1 tree log. A storm rod. I forgot to. Expect this to take a amethyst focus and a heavenly focus, and probably 2 iron bars. Shadow rod. And last but not least, this is a temporarily uncraftable dusk rod. We'll get into why it's uncraftable later. Okay. Back up we go. So, we have the fire rod, and all of these rods, these 5 rods here, use 4 mana to do a 10 damage projectile that has a secondary effect. So, for example, what do you think fire does? It burns. Next we have ice rod, it will freeze. It is supposed to have a freezing effect, but I'm not sure that the frozen condition actually does anything right now. I'll look into it later. The wind rod is a little bit goofy. I think this guy's on his last legs though. Yeah, no, he's just dead. Okay, wind rod. Launch them into the air. Unfortunately, we don't have working fall damage for enemies just yet, but what can you do? It's early access. Storm rod does the stun effect. I'm not sure if stun actually is supposed to do anything yet or not. Shadow rod will. So if I were to smack this guy, oh, 5 damage. Anyway, what the Shadow Rod does is, when inflicted, targets will take 20% more 20% more damage from physical sources. And last but not least, the Dusk Rod is fatal. How fatal? In its current state, it kind of just doesn't care. The idea is that it's supposed to be a, you know, not overly powerful enemy just dies, but also a random chance. Problem. The current interaction system doesn't seem to have anything for either of those checks, as far as I'm aware. Oops. But, I don't know. Probably could be plug-in through or something. But I'm not opening IntelliJ, sorry. Not unless I have a real good reason to. And last but not least, let's also throw in the Life Rod. So if you just want to wander about hitting stuff, get into some battles here. Right, let's go find something. Should be another wolf over here. Oh no, he's hurting me. Okay, that hurts. And better. Kinda interesting that the mana doesn't go down unless it's... Oop. This is a little bit scary. And now it's not. Okay, dealt with. So the way the Life Rod works is that, yes, it currently shoots a projectile. If you hit the projectile, the target you hit will get healed for 20 health. If you miss, you, the caster, are healed instead. So I can patch up these cows. It does spook them a little bit, I guess. But it does also heal them. I'll figure a better system for up here. Are you angry at me? It's fine. Okay. So, that's all the magic rods so far. Later on there may be, you know, more powerful staves, and maybe even some weaker wands that are easier to get into. For now, though, let's dive into the other side, where we had... No, not you. You. We have quite a variety of different swords. So, Fire Focus, Heavy Lever, 2 copper ingots, and 8 adamantite. So all these swords take 8 adamantite and 2 heavy lever. For the most part. These saves. Okay, so... Fire Focus, 2 copper, and the rest. We got Flame Blade. Water Focus and silver. Crossblade. Earth Focus and Iron, the Wind Blade. Heavenly Focus and to Iron, Storm Blade. Shadow Focus and the Void Heart, the Shadow Blade. And Heavenly Focus with 2 silver, a Sunblade. These are all different elemental swords, one-handed. So, currently no unique attack animations, which also means no unique on-hit effects, but they are decently strong and kind of cool looking. And they actually, if I were to go into, let me give myself some food here. You know what, I can use this to survive. Alright, so let's move around. Oh, more wolves. Lots of wolves here. So you'll notice that the sword also just not taking damage. Later on, I will probably have an energy system for these things, and they'll become a lifeless hilt if they run out of power, essentially breaking. May not be all that hard to do, but I don't want them to be repaired the normal way. They're energy weapons, not physical weapons. And it even goes to the point of how half of them do fire damage internally and half of them do ice damage. There's not a lot of damage types to work with currently. Those are like the only 2 distinctly elemental moves other than like ice and stuff. Or, well, poison. Poison's one of the ones because that's an actual damage effect. Anyways. So, for the most part, they are all functionally identical currently, but they do have different visual effects. A lot of them are currently taken from base game, but whatever. There's a lot the base game wants used anyways. I wonder what happens if I hit a rock. Okay, they don't care about. They don't care what they hit. Fair enough. The interesting thing is, what stops them from taking durability damage is because they are not doing the physical damage type. If they're set to physical, then, you know, hitting mobs and stuff with them would cause them to lose durability. But nope. I'll actually get around to finishing them up. They will have their secondary effects and stuff. I'm not sure what secondary effect I will give to the Sunblade. It is possible I could make it slightly easier to craft. In the actual Tale of Sunsword adventure map on Minecraft, the Sunblade's gimmick was that it would do extra damage to undead enemies, but I'm not even sure if that framework's here or not yet. However, there are yet 2 more swords worth our attention for the time being. So, back over we go. We've got the Sanguine Star, 1 Heavenly Focus, 1 Umbral Focus, 4 Life Force Shards, 8 Mithril Ingots, crafting tier 3. I guess those are, yeah, those are tier 3 as well, because they take a talent. And the Sunsword, the Sunsword. So these are both pretty legendary artifacts. Let's start with the Sanguine Star here. This is a custom Keyblade. Wait, Keyblade? Like Kingdom Hearts? Yes. Yes, Kingdom Hearts. Long story. Involves the characters from relating to the Tale of the Sunsword. It is the main protagonist's Keyblade. It will probably have other unique effects instead of just hitting decently hard. I think it's just unbreakable here, which, you know, Keyblades kind of mostly are. Way to the Dawn notwithstanding. And then the last one we've got is a Sunsword. This is not the one from Curse of Strahd, though it does pull inspiration from it. It's especially not the Sunsword from the Curse of Strahd, because that Sunsword is sentient and chaotic good, and vengeful for his fallen master, and deathly afraid of being destroyed. Which, you know, kind of fits that one setting. This, while legendary artifact, isn't quite as... It has the divine power, don't get me wrong, but... Actually, I'm not even really sure what its grand final scheme is even supposed to be, or if it's just supposed to be a legendary artifact that hero acquires throughout his story. But it's definitely a divine sort of magic light blade. And it could have some significant implications later. Anyhow. Yeah, that's about all we've got to show for the time being. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Hoping to get this out soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.